Action 3 News Weekend starts now.
We all have to decide upon the election coming up. We all have to put our voice in there. Our voice counts. Our vote counts as well too.
With Election Day less than 6 weeks away, leaders in the Latino community are encouraging people to get involved with the political process. Reporter Joe Cadat was at a Metro Young Professionals workshop with the effort to get Latinos involved with politics and voting. Joe.
With record low voter turnout among Latino Americans during the 2014 elections, leaders in the Latino community are encouraging young people to vote and run for political office. They say now is more important than ever to get involved. Gutierrez is an Omaha South High graduate who wants to eventually run for a school board. She says not enough parents in the Latino community get their kids involved in American politics.
They believe that their voice doesn't count, and I want them to understand that no matter what race you are, if you're Hispanic, if you don't speak the language, there's always something that you can voice out to everybody out there. Gutierrez
is an example of what the Metro Young Latino Professionals Association wants to see more of. Young, educated Latinos realizing the importance of running for political office and voting.
The lack of involvement isn't so much discouraging. It's, sometimes the cynicism of people that their vote doesn't matter, that it doesn't really matter who they vote for, that at the end of the day, people are going to do whatever they want, but that's not the truth. I mean, your voice and your vote do matter.
MYLPA brought political leaders from Nebraska and Colorado to the Salvation Army Kroc Center to show young Latinos what it's like to run for office and why it's important.
Our goal is trying to encourage other young Latinos to want to run for an office or to want or understand that there are boards out there that need to be represented.
With 60 high school students at the conferences and a high attendance, MYLPA says it's refreshing to connect young Latinos with people like Gutierrez.
We need to show everybody that we are powerful, not just because we are Latinos. We have to stand back and let everybody else act. We have to show them that we are powerful.
The Hispanic population is about 10% in Nebraska and is expected to be more than doubled by 2050. MYLPA is a nonpartisan group and had both Democrat and Republican politicians at their event. Reporting live, Joe Cadat, KMTV Action 3 News.
All right, thank you, Joe. Well, Warren Buffett has been very active encouraging voters of all ethnicities to get involved in the voting process. He spoke to a massive crowd at the Maha Music Festival in August. More recently, Buffett met with potential voters and fellow seniors at the Intercultural Senior Center, speaking through a translator to spread the word. Buffett has rented Ollie the trolley rides on Election Day to take voters to the polls. Well, Donald Trump has declined to release his tax returns, but now some of them have been made public through a leak, forcing his campaign to answer for a massive loss he claimed 2 decades ago. Brixilla Braga has more from New York.
Donald Trump's campaign pushed back on a report from the New York Times showing Trump claimed a nearly $916 million loss on his 1995 tax return, allowing him to avoid paying income tax on nearly $1 billion of future earnings.
He's a genius. I mean, the reality is absolute genius. This is a perfectly legal application of the tax code, and he would have been a fool not to take advantage of it.
The Times received the front page of his state tax returns in the mail. The envelope was postmarked from New York City, and the return address claimed it was sent from here, Trump Tower in Manhattan. In a statement, the Trump campaign said the businessman has a fiduciary responsibility to his business, his family, and his employees to pay no more tax than legally required. At a Charlotte, North Carolina church Sunday, Hillary Clinton made no mention of taxes. She focused on criminal justice reform and mourned the loss of Keith Lamont Scott, who was shot by Charlotte police 12 days ago.
Like every grandmother, I worry about the safety and security of my grandchildren. But my worries are not the same as black grandmothers.
Her running mate, Tim Kaine, attended church in Virginia, where he's been prepping for the vice presidential debate.
Oh, it's good. I mean, just gotta be myself.
Kaine faces Republican VP nominee Mike Pence on Tuesday night. Brooke Silva Braga for CBS News, New York.
Clinton's campaign announced it raised $154 million in September. It's his best fundraising month of the campaign. Trump campaigns in Virginia and Colorado on Monday. Well, this Tuesday, you can catch the first vice presidential debate between Mike Pence and Tim Kaine right here on KMTV from 8 to 10 o'clock. The last two presidential debates are on October 9th and 19th.
Now, your Weather Alert First Forecast.
Hope you enjoyed your weekend. It was a beautiful day today with Mother Nature cooperating nicely. We saw highs in the lower 70s, and presently as we go down to street level, some of our neighborhoods, Fair Acres sitting at 64 degrees. In fact, Elkhorn's at 62, Bennington 63. Most locations like La Vista, Swanson Park, Hanscom Park, and Carter Lake are in the lower 60s at this hour. We will fall to about 56 degrees by the time you hit the floor and grab that morning cup of coffee. Looks like we'll be holding steady too, no matter what time of the day you rise tomorrow morning to start your week. 56 degrees with clear skies. We'll be warming up on Monday, and we've got some storms to talk about this week. I'll do that in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, John. Well, jury selection is over. Now the official start to one of Omaha's most disturbing murder cases. The Anthony Garcia trial will start tomorrow. The murder trial of the man known as the accused Creighton killer will now take opening arguments on Monday. Lawyers from both sides and the judge picked 6 men and 6 women and 4 alternates to hear the case against Garcia. He's accused of brutally killing 11-year-old Thomas Hunter and housekeeper Shirley Sherman in 2008 and Dr. Roger and Mary Brumbach in 2013, allegedly as revenge for being fired from the Creighton Pathology Department in 2001. We'll have an update to a story we brought you this summer. Today, a group of protesters are speaking out against the continued employment of an OPD officer who posted questionable content on Facebook. The group Surge, or Showing Up for Racial Justice Omaha, says Officer Brian Kuhalnik is back to work despite posting what they call racist content on social media. In July, he was put on paid leave when he posted on his Facebook page that, quote, Black Lives Matter is not a pro-black group, but instead an anti-white police group. Surge wants to know why he has been allowed to return to work.
This man is currently back at his post at the Nebraska Humane Society. And we feel that an officer such as himself has no business working around humans or animals.
We reached out to OPD for comment. The department has not confirmed Kuhalnik's current employment status and the status of the internal investigation into his actions on social media. OPD has previously said those views do not represent the department. Well, Omaha Mayor Gene Stothert, still dealing with a back injury, has postponed a town hall meeting slated for later this week. Monday night's question and answer session at Adams Park Community Center near 32nd and John Creighton Boulevard will be rescheduled. Well, the Omaha Running Club held the 2nd annual Heartland Marathon this morning. Runners from all over the country participated, including an Olympic gold medalist. Reporter Jessica Ritchie tells us how these athletes are giving and finding inspiration in running.
Couldn't ask for a better day, that's for sure.
A gorgeous day to cross the finish line. In a race against the clock and oneself.
Overall, taking first place with 3:01, I'm happy with the time.
While each runner here has their personal goals, some are running with others in mind.
Roan's a little girl that was in 2013 diagnosed with a rare brain malformation.
The Brain Injury Alliance educates, they support people with TBIs or concussions.
A winner is declared in each age category, going all the way to 50 plus.
We're oldies but goodies.
This group of 70 plus relay runners loves being an inspiration to others to never give up.
When you get older, you have to understand the limitations that age brings, but that doesn't have to stop you from going and doing your best.
Many of them were inspired by Olympic marathon runners like Frank Shorter, who showed up today to run the 10K portion of the race. Shorter says running wasn't very popular until his Olympic win in 1972.
It was the running clubs around the United States in various cities like Omaha or Lincoln or Des Moines or New York City that really were the impetus behind the major marathons.
At 68 years old, he's not as fast as he used to be, but he doesn't plan on stopping.
My personal motto has been that I'm going to do everything I can to slow down as slowly as possible.
Jessica Ritchie, KMTV Action 3 News.
This year's marathon honored local marathon legend Gary Lee Julin, who died in dementia in 2015. Proceeds from the race benefited the Lewy Body Dementia Association. Well, it's not quite the holiday season, but some bikers teamed up with Santa Claus today to get geared up for kids in need. Today marks the 37th annual toy run for the Salvation Army. Riders gathered at Holston Harley-Davidson and revved their engines all the way over the Buckwhackers to drop off toys. The riders are part of ABATE. That stands for American Bikers Aimed Towards Education.
Normally we'll average about $5,000 worth of toys every year that we donate. And we'll have members that show up anywhere from 75 to 130 bikes, 150 bikes that show up. This year we had over 125 people sign up, and I believe it was like about 74, 76 bikes.
Wow, well, the Salvation Army will take all the toys dropped off today and distribute them to needy children this December during Toyland Days. Well, beautiful fall weather greeted dozens of dog owners today at the Humane Society. We'll take you to the annual Walk for Animals and tell you how they all had fun for a good cause.
In the weather, a warm, windy start to the week, but things are starting to get going out in the western sections of the country. I'll tell you when the thunderstorms may be affecting your plans after the break. Stay with us.
The Bottom Line, Omaha's first internet-only sports talk show, now on AM 590 ESPN Omaha. Catch 2 more hours of local sports news and entertainment, hosted by Michael Severe, weekdays noon to 2 on AM 590 ESPN Omaha. New year, new team, one dream. Dominant high school football coverage. KMTV and AM 590 team up to cover the first downs, the touchdowns. Friday nights this fall on Omaha Sports Insider Game Night. Kickoff at 8 with high school game night on AM 590. Then OSI Game Night takes the field at 10 on KMTV. We go the extra yard and post every piece of video online. Omaha Sports Insider Game Night.
The prison at Guantanamo Bay. Last month, 15 detainees were released back to the Middle East. All 15 were deemed high risks to the United States. And Brad Ashford, he voted to allow the release of these terrorists back to the battlefield 3 separate times. Now Ashford says he doesn't regret his previous votes. Doesn't regret. Brad Ashford's record is a risk to our security. The NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Hi, I'm Angie Bacon, and after 29 years in the Air Force, I thought my husband Don and I would get to relax a little. But Don was called to serve in Congress. And our country needs outsiders like Don, who will shake up Washington. Leaders who will do what it takes to keep our nation safe. Because unlike a lot of the politicians we have in Washington, Don Bacon doesn't do anything halfway.
I am Don Bacon, and I approve this message.
See?
This Camry's got everything I'm looking for. Available features like pre-collision system, V6 engine, Qi wireless smartphone charging. Look at that front grille.
Don't forget Toyota Care.
Right, Toyota Care.
Want to take a test drive?
Yeah.
Right now, lease a new 2017 Camry for $169 a month or get $2,000 customer cash. Toyota. Let's go places.
Action 3 News Mobile Storm Tracker, powered by Jensen Tire and Auto.
It was a doggone good day to help the Nebraska Humane Society. Walk for the Animals is a fundraiser to help support the rescue, rehabilitation, and rehoming of abandoned and lost pets. This is Omaha's biggest dog-friendly event, where there were Frisbee dog demos, dog paw painting, and an adoption dog parade. You could even adopt a dog so it would have a forever home.
It was a day to celebrate pets, and I think that it was really heartwarming to see so many people who just love their animals and to have a day dedicated to that.
WE says about 2,000 people showed up to the events. Joining us now is meteorologist John Walsh. And John, it was a perfect day to have your dogs out there. I wish I could have my dog out there.
And it looks like they were
around.
having a lot of fun out there today, too. I know I couldn't get my puppies inside at all today, but it was one of those days. We'll take it. Beautiful day. Another warm one tomorrow. A little bit breezy, however, but we've got some storm clouds that will be rolling in here before the week is out, and we'll be talking more about that. Of course, the Woodman Tower bathed in pink. The Coleman Race for the Cure is at the end of this week, so We're celebrating that with, KMTV is a proud sponsor of that, I might add. 62 degrees the present temperature. We have clear skies outside with a southeast breeze at about 6 miles an hour. And the dew point's at 53 degrees. Not a whole lot of humidity around the area. Areas to the east of us in western Iowa are a little bit cooler this hour. 54 degrees at Atlantic and Red Oak, 52 down in Clarinda. On the Nebraska side of the river, still in the lower 60s over most locations, led by Lincoln at 65 degrees. Through tonight, heading into tomorrow morning, temperatures will drop and pretty much hold for a few hours in the mid 50s. Mainly clear skies tonight with a gentle southeast wind, and we'll maintain sunshine at least through the morning tomorrow as we warm to the upper 60s, lower 70s by lunchtime. But as we head into the afternoon, a few scattered clouds begin to make their way into the metro area as temperatures continue to climb in. It's going to be a breezy day tomorrow. Gusty winds out of the southeast as high as 30 miles an hour. As far as our radars, all is quiet across the KMTV viewing area, though off to the west of us, especially in eastern Colorado. Earlier this evening, things starting to ignite a little bit in advance of a big storm system that has just made its way onto the Pacific coast. Right here's the location. You can see the counterclockwise flow around that, and that is going to be taking sort of a northeasterly track into the Dakotas and then into Canada. Now, as that moves in that direction, we are going to be seeing some disturbances rotating around this, along with some stronger winds aloft. That's going to generate some showers and some thunderstorms beginning Monday evening over central and northern sections of Nebraska. And then by Tuesday, they should be here in the metro, and they'll stay here for a while. We'll see periods of thunderstorms develop and continue to spin into the metro out ahead of a cold front that's not going to be moving through here until the evening hours. And then all of this will have cleared out of here on Wednesday, giving us at least one day in which we'll see a break from the rain. But some of the forecast models indicating a pretty good swath of 1 inch to 1.5 inches rainfall amounts with this next system coming through here. In fact, it's got a bullseye on the Omaha area. So for that reason, we are keeping Threat Tracker in the yellow category on Tuesday for the threat of some thunderstorms. 56 degrees, the overnight low tonight, mostly clear with a light southeast wind. Those wind speeds picking up tomorrow. 15 to 20 miles an hour, gusting to 30 at times as we climb into the upper 70s. And again, scattered clouds as we head into the afternoon hours. On Monday night, the clouds will fill in, and by Tuesday morning, should be raining here in the metro. Periods of rain throughout the day into Tuesday night. A break on Wednesday, lower 70s both days, and then Wednesday night into Thursday, the next lobe of energy comes through here, giving us additional chances for rain Wednesday night into Thursday, and then cooler weather as we head into the later stages of the weekend into the weekend. But at least it looks like it's going to be fairly quiet with just a slight chance of a shower on Sunday. Your weather kid tonight is Ileana. I hope I got that right. Age 9, big smile on her face, 56 degrees, warmer temperatures tomorrow, but it's going to be a windy one. It's going to be messing up that nice hairdo she has right there.
All right, thank you, John. The Nebraska football team is on the move again on the polls. Find out where the Huskers ended up after staying undefeated yesterday against Illinois. Adam Kruger has a story next in sports.
It's the most important job you'll ever have, raising your kids. And you care about every detail. But do you know what happened at school today? What are they learning? How do our schools compare? What programs can we be proud of? At KMTV, we care about your kids. That's why our team takes you in the classroom every Tuesday and Thursday on Action 3 News, making your busy job as a parent a little more informed. In the classroom on Action 3 News.
Hi, I'm Angie Bacon, and after 29 years in the Air Force, I thought my husband Don and I would get to relax a little. But Don was called to serve in Congress. And our country needs outsiders like Don, who will shake up Washington. Leaders who will do what it takes to keep our nation safe. Because unlike a lot of the politicians we have in Washington, Don Bacon doesn't do anything halfway.
I am Don Bacon, and I approve this message.
See?
I've noticed you here every morning.
I noticed you always get off at this stop.
Yeah. You?
Jefferson Street?
Maybe we can grab a bite to eat someday.
Maybe someday.
It's someday.
Sure is.
Recharge any time of day with a hot McDonald's McCafe coffee. Right now, get a large premium roast coffee for just 89 cents.
The prison at Guantanamo Bay. Last month, 15 detainees were released back to the Middle East. All 15 were deemed high risks to the United States. And Brad Ashford, he voted to allow the release of these terrorists back to the battlefield 3 separate times. Now Ashford says he doesn't regret his previous votes. Doesn't regret. Brad Ashford's record is a risk to our security. The NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Glenwood. Thanks for watching KMTV-3. Now, your Omaha Sports Insider Report.
The Huskers rise up in the rankings once again. Today, Nebraska is now number 12 in both the coaches and AP polls. That's 3 spots up from where the Big Red was last week. The top 2 teams in the AP poll remain unchanged in Alabama and Ohio State, respectively. Clemson moves up 2 spots to 3rd after the Tigers win over Louisville. Michigan still 4th. Washington moves up 5 spots to 5th after destroying Stanford. Wisconsin is just above Nebraska at 11th. Colorado, meanwhile, is ranked for the first time in 11 years, coming in at 21. Meanwhile, Husker Nation is breathing a sigh of relief tonight after Nebraska remained unbeaten yesterday. And you got by Illinois 31-16, improving to 5-0 on the season. It didn't look good for much of the game as the Big Red trailed by 6 heading into the 4th quarter. But the Husker offense outscored the Illini 21-0 in the final period, while the NU defense made 3 crucial stops in the last 15 minutes of the game.
I know one thing for sure, we didn't come out and play with as much energy as we'd like to in the first half. And that was definitely a big emphasis going into the halftime is kind of getting our energy back under us, not even getting it back, just getting energy, you know what I mean, and playing with a passion that we know we can play with.
Tipped away for last second, nice play by Aaron Williams.
We just saw some new things that we had to adjust to and make, adjustments at halftime. The first couple quarters, we couldn't tackle very well, giving up some leaky yardages, and then, coming around towards the end of the 4th quarter, we started making plays that, helped us.
Nebraska now has next Saturday off before heading to Indiana on October 15. Moving to the NFL now, where the Chiefs and Steelers came into tonight's game on opposite ends of the spectrum. KC was coming off a 20-point win in which it forced 8 turnovers, while Pittsburgh suffered its worst loss in nearly 30 years last Sunday in a 31-point defeat to the Eagles. A rainy night in the Steel City, but that did not dampen the Steelers' offense. Early in the first quarter, Ben Roethlisberger back to pass. He's going to find a wide-open Darius Hayward-Bay for the 31-yard touchdown pass. Steelers lead 8-0 after a 2-point conversion. Later in the first, Big Ben would air it out once again. This time, he's going to find Antonio Brown, 38 yards for the touchdown. Brown's second score of the night. Jamal Charles in his first game back in a year after tearing his ACL had just 2 carries for 7 yards tonight. Pittsburgh bounces back in a big way, winning 43-14. Earlier today here on KMTV, the Broncos trying to stay unbeaten. Denver on the road in Tampa. Second quarter, Broncos up 7 when quarterback Trevor Siemian is sacked hard by Clinton McDonald. Siemian would be later carted off the field with a shoulder injury. So in comes rookie Paxton Lynch, and he comes through, finding Emmanuel Sanders for the 5-yard touchdown. That seals the deal. Broncos win it 27-7. To golf now, the Ryder Cup wrapping up today in Minnesota. Rory McIlroy, long birdie putt on 8. And it is good. He is pumped. Golf would be so much more entertaining if they're allowed to do this in every tournament, right? That whole gentleman's game is overrated. Meanwhile, Phil Mickelson, the long birdie attempt on number 18. It goes in, and the U.S. goes on to win its first Ryder Cup since 2008 with a victory 17-11. The Royals wrapping up their season today, taking on the Indians, bottom of the 5th. KC down 2-1 until Cheslor Cuthbert at the plate drives this one deep to center. This one gets out, a solo home run, tying the game up at 2. But the Indians would get an RBI sac fly in the top of the 8th. That would be the difference. Royals lose today 3-2. They end the year with a .500 record, 81-81. That's 3rd place in the AL Central. You can access Omaha Sports Insider 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at omahasportsinsider.com. Powered by KMTV-3 and AM 590 ESPN Omaha.
Come see the best to look your best. Schedule a free consultation with Dr. Joel Schlesinger for the latest cosmetic treatments, including Kybella, Cool Sculpting, Cool Advantage, Ult Therapy, and more. And right now, we're excited to announce the new revolutionary treatment for cellulite, Selfina.
We're really excited to be the first in the Midwest to offer Selfina, a long-lasting solution for cellulite.
Book an appointment with skin specialists today to look your best.
I am a breast cancer survivor. I am alive because my doctors caught it early. So it upsets me that Congressman David Young voted 5 times to defund Planned Parenthood, that thousands of Iowa women depend on for life-saving cancer screenings. David Young would have even shut down the government to cut off funding for Planned Parenthood. Plain and simple, I don't want David Young to represent me.
DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. Every day, no matter where we serve, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
I am a working mom, so that's a balancing act. It really does take the entire family to make it all work. I'm a better meteorologist because I'm a mom. I want to know the same things that you do, and I think of that when I'm forecasting. Do you need to prepare for games in dangerous heat? Are you in the path of a storm? We're in this together. We all want to keep our families safe.
Jennifer Zeppelin, joining Jennifer Griswold and Craig Negrelli, weeknights on KMTV Action 3 News, live at 10.
Thank you for joining us at 10. Omaha Sports Insider Sunday is next.